The greenish white grape is a smaller table grape with a sweet, juicy flavor. Niagara grapes or white Concord grapes are a light green grape that has a sweet, lemony flavor. Niagara grapes are great for making white grape juice. And then Flame Seedless is a popular table grape, often purchased because of availability. The grape is a purple reddish color and is a hybrid of Thompson Seedless and the Cardinal grape. Here we go. All right, and I was kind of curious. One of them was about Grape Popsicle Day. Why is my computer not cooperating with me? So I looked up the list of what the top 10 ice cream truck, because it kind of made me think of it's getting hot and, the ice cream truck treats. And it's been, long time since I had those. Yes, definitely. Come on, come on. Slow computer, come on. We're improvising because I accidentally Doritos. Thank you. Hey. Okay. Where did I go? Recipes, questions. Oh, it's that one. Okay, okay. My brain is not functioning. Threw myself off by deleting my content. No, that's the one I already looked at. I need the list of the ice cream ones. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? My apologies for that. Yes, it is awesome for my disorganization. Into Moki lately? Okay, the ice cream truck treats from our childhood days were firecrackers. Those were like the red, white, and blue ones. The push pop, the SpongeBob ice cream pop. That was, that was after I was a kid. They had that. The chocolate chip cookie sandwich, lick a color. I don't know what that is. The chocolate chip cookie sandwich, the strawberry shortcake bar, the screwball, the ice cream sandwich, and the Choco Taco and the drumstick. You guys, they've had Choco Tacos forever. I have never had that. I remember when Taco Bell used to have those, but never tried it. I tried the shortcake bar. They actually sell them at like the drugstores, ironically. But I'm gonna go ahead and have NorCal and Papa Bear sings and Sen hop into the box for some questions before I go into my next segment, and then I will have them in and out. Hey, Papa Bear, how are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Papa Bear.
All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you.
All right. Of those ones that I just listed, what is your favorite ice cream truck treat?
Oof.
Well, I'm gonna go with because
Okay.
I go way back, and we didn't have all of those. We had like popsicles and we had push pops
Mhm.
and the bombs, but we didn't have a lot of options when I was a kid. I like the push pops because you
Mhm.
could keep pushing it up and only expose the part that you wanted to eat at the time.
The orange ones, those were good.
And I would have to agree as well. We had the ice cream truck that came through. And that's the one that I preferred. I think it was kind of like a mixture, kind of like a sorbet type of ice
Yeah.
cream. All the
Yeah.
SpongeBob and all the other ones actually came a little bit later after my childhood. Feeling much old at this point.
But you're still a youngin, so hey.
Thank you, Papa.
Yeah. What wasn't it like Flintstone or something? Like I thought it was like a Flintstone theme to it or something.
Oh yeah, it
The
was. I remember it
the
did
short
used to be Flintstones.
the
Yeah.
shorter one. But although the push pop is really high on my list, but I would have to go just keep it simple. Just the ice cream sandwich to me has always been kind of like a staple. Whenever I'm in the mood for ice cream, usually just either plain or cookies and cream ice cream sandwich has always hit the spot for me. So I'd have to go with that.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Mhm. I was really always partial to the firecrackers, that red, white, and blue one. I liked those. Okay. If you don't like, cheesecake day was one of the days I skipped that part somehow. If you don't like cheesecake, what is your favorite cake or pie? Mine is cheesecake. So
I love cheesecake.
I like cheesecake, but I'm a little bit on like trying to stay away from dairy lately. So I probably would go with, I don't know, strawberry shortcake or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm.
The fresh fruit for me.
You know, you can put fresh fruit on the cheesecake. I'm just
Whipped
saying.
cream for me.
Yeah, cheesecake is great, but I would have to go if I'd have to go more towards the pie route. I would go however you want to say it, pecan or pecan. I'd have to go with a pecan pie for my favorite. Whether it doesn't matter what holiday it is when they make it, I'm always looking for the pecan pie. As long as if it's there, then it's a good family gathering for me. If it's not, then I'm heading out the exit doors pretty soon to go get my own pecan pie after that.
Yeah, I hate the question just because it just limits my choices. I mean, I love cheesecake, but then there's carrot cake, death by chocolate brownies.
Oh,
yeah.
My blood sugar just went up thinking about that.
I forgot about the brownies.
Yeah.
Oh, and then for pies, apple pie, of course, but pumpkin is like hands down always. I love pumpkin pie.
Cherry pie. Who doesn't like cherry pie?
Right.
I'm with Sin on the pecan pie.
Yeah.
And if you used a cooler for a beach day or a picnic, what would be your go-to items to bring and why?
You broke up a little bit for me, but you said if we bring a cooler to
the picnic or to the beach, what would be your go-to items and why?
Wine.
Mm.
I would say some cheese, some bread, and some salami, and maybe a little bit of like mustard, and kind of just snack away. Put some frozen grapes in there, and yeah, make it a beach picnic day.
What are you doing this weekend, Norcal?
Is it the weekend? No, we it's a 3-day weekend.
Oh, it's Monday. Yeah.
I
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
I've been
Monday,
off all
Monday.
week because Friday felt like Saturday, Saturday felt like Sunday, Sunday felt like Saturday again. It's been a weird weekend.
Yep, I'm on vacation, state vacation for 10 days. So you guys might see me on live a little bit more.
Yeah, I've got to go with like a nice fruit ensemble. Strawberries, raspberries, grapes. Yeah, things that hold up very well. And nice and chilled fruit. And wouldn't need the cooler for this. It would help. Brie cheese, some nice, good, sturdy sourdough bread or some other rustic bread.
Okay, we're on the same vibe.
There you go. I'm gonna go back to my childhood and start off with some old school, some bologna and cheese sandwiches, but with some chips that we used to put like potato chips in the middle of the sandwiches. Put it in there. And for the fruit, probably like a half of a watermelon, or not half, probably the whole watermelon. Take it out there, chop it up. For it being the unofficial start of summer, I'm thinking, beach vibes, taking the cooler out to the beach. So definitely some watermelon. And for a beverage, just as long as it's a cold, very cold beer, I'm a happy camper. So those would be my
the bologna
items.
for me.
I would have the water,
bologna.
yeah, or lemonade, like some kind of sandwich or like Lunchables, and then for some reason every time we went to a picnic or the beach, we always had Pringles. was like a no fail that
Hey,
I
there you go.
picture. Yeah, we always had Pringles. But yeah, you do want to mix in the fruit and the veggies too, of course, to be balanced. And then if you're not a fan of grapes, what is your favorite healthy go-to snack and why? I'm sure the comments could answer this question, but mine 1,000% is radishes. You will never see me not have the bag of radishes to snack on. But I do like grapes. I do like strawberries, bananas, raspberries, blueberries as well.
Now, radishes, the red round ones or the long white ones?
Yeah, no, the red brown ones.
They're a little spicy. Oof.
They are. We used to make, when I was a kid, we used to make radish sandwiches. You got to have white bread.
Mhm.
And it had to be white bread. Then you put butter on both halves, and then you cut radishes very fine, and you lay them and the butter bread and radish sandwich.
Never tried that one.
Nice.
But I found another picture that's just too good to not share.
It's gonna make us all hungry.
Hey, there you go. Look at that.
Oh, we will. Aw,
It's a
cute.
fruit basket pig.
Cute. I like that.
Hey,
Yeah.
look at that.
How can you go wrong with that?
That is cute.
That is, yeah. That is.
And it fit
that's
nicely
awesome.
inside. If you got the big enough cooler, it'll fit nicely in there.
Right.
Thank you, Art Man.
And for NorCal in person,
I don't know if I'm down with the radish, mayonnaise, white bread, and the
No,
bologna.
not. Oh, thank you. Not mayonnaise,
And the
butter.
bologna sandwich.
Butter.
I don't know. I don't know if that would be my choice. I definitely am plant-based eater. I would say vegetables, and fruit would be my choice. It doesn't matter what it is. But that's definitely a snack. Even though I had some chips and salsa last night, Artman and I are on a diet on who's gonna get more fit. So I cheated, but I'm definitely gonna get back into that diet mode. But that big bag of chips last night, the restaurant style chips and the salsa, oof. You cannot go wrong. I'm a chips and salsa kind of girl.
Ooh.
If you want a chance at me, a shot at me, just get me some chips and salsa.
Okay,
Well, there
NorCal,
you go.
favorite salsa. Favorite kind of
What
salsa.
is that? Picante?
I'll
No,
fight.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Not picante.
Hey.
What is that? Pito, whatever that stuff is.
Pico de gallo?
Help me out.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that
okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you
Yeah.
guys can concur, and everybody in the good comments can concur on this one too. All these avocados we've been seeing, now I want guacamole like 24/7. And funny thing, we went
Yeah.
shopping today. I saw the guacamole. I
With that
love
guac.
it. We need that.
Yeah, if you were gonna say picante or paste picante, I was like, you know what? Just throw it away. No, get out
It
of
kind
here.
of compares the bologna and the white bread and the mayonnaise and the radishes. I mean, it just goes right in there. Picante
But
sauce, right?
I gotta
Kind of in
clarify.
that same category.
Yeah, but it's not mayonnaise, it's butter. I'm just saying.
Oh,
it's
well,
butter.
there you go. Even better. Even
makes,
better.
makes it
butter.
completely different. My
It's
favorite was that
it's one molecule away from plastic. Okay, we got it. Don't worry about it. And those are California avocados, by the way.
Yes.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh.
Pace used to have a commercial, and they're like, "This is made fresh, blah blah blah." That other stuff, that's made in New York City.
Oh my
the
God,
ad-
we're so old. We are
When the
so
ad first
old.
came out, I'm older than you.
Where's
by-
the beef? Where's the
You're-
beef? Wendy's.
But when the ad first came out, it was actually that stuff's made in New Jersey.
New York City. Oh, New Jersey too.
That's what it said when it first came out, and apparently there was some sort of hullabaloo, and Jersey rised
They
up as a
rioted.
state and said, "We don't make salsa here. You can't say that." So they changed it to New York.
Now, Cali avocados are good, but I would have to kind of say I would prefer probably the avocados from Mexico. Those would be my.
Do you know there's a true fact that the drug cartels are like really in charge of the avocados down there? I'm telling you. It's crazy down there. I used to live in El Paso, Texas for a year, and that was a thing. Like they ran those avocados.
Oh, wow.
That's
They
true.
gangster down there. Those are gangster avocados.
That is, yeah. But now we love a good spicy salsa. But I am a fan of grapes. Grapes would probably be one of my choices as well for the fruit. But I would have to also go maybe pineapple chunks. I've always been a huge fan of the pineapple. Um, if I would go to the veggie route, probably like some carrots, maybe some celery, but definitely yeah, grapes and pineapple. And everybody that knows me here knows if I'm gonna have fruit, especially that kind of fruit, um, I can't have it without some tahini. I gotta put some tahini on that fruit. If not, then it's not going anywhere near my mouth. So that some fresh grapes and pineapple chunks with some tahini. Oh man, I'm good.
What's
I'm good to go.
tahine?
Tahini is the spices of the gods. No, I'm just kidding.
I
it's a
like that.
spice. It's a spice, kind of like it's like a sprinkle spice that it's almost like a flavor additive. I'm not really too sure how to explain it much, but I mean, lots of people use it, but like us Mexicans, we like to put it on all our stuff. We put it on our food, on our fruit, on our beverages. It's just like a little extra kick, like a spice.
Like
To,
chili, paprika.
yeah,
Yeah,
something
it's got
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm giving you a hint as to what my favorite fruit is,
Okay.
There you go.
but they got to be
We love a
fresh.
good raspberry.
Right. Well, welcome to
Yeah,
No Blues
dirt
News.
beer.
Sorry, No Blues News. I'm Miss Tawny. We have our guests tonight, Papa Bear Sings, NorCal, and Sin. Mondays, 6 Eastern, positive news and entertainment stories shared and discussed with guests. And there was another one of the days was in relation to beef hamburgers and hamburgers. There is other varieties of burgers. There's chicken ones, turkey ones, veggie ones. Do you like hamburgers? And what is your go-to type if you're not partial to the beef ones? I eat them all. I embrace them all.
I'm down with the beef. Where's the beef? Wendy's, that commercial. But actually, here in California, we have In and Out, and I know a lot of people are very like, dedicated and to their like other types of burger joints across the United States. But In and Out is the bomb. There's nothing like animal style French fries. That cheese, a special sauce, the grilled and raw onions on top. You got to have a fork to eat your French fries because that stuff just sticks together, or a shovel. And we got the most amazing shakes. If In and Out, any representatives that's here that works for In and Out, I want a couple of gift cards just out of my DMs.
Okay. Now I'm going to go into our second segment. I have you X the box and I'll have you rejoin after the second
Okay, can we
segment.
share our burgers real quick if we haven't already?
Yeah.
I was gonna say because I like beef, I like turkey, I love ostrich burgers actually.
Oh, I never had that one.
They're very good. Fuddruckers had them for a while. I don't know if they still did, but ostrich burgers, it's like a red meat but less fat.
Those are good. Yeah, I'm good with any beef burger. I know Tawny, I know you're a Texas girl too, or you're in Texas as well. So as soon as I heard In and Out, you know exactly where I was gonna go. Us Texas people, so we have our Whataburger. And I've tasted In and Out before. I've had it. It's great. Don't get me wrong, it's great. But us Texas folk, you don't mess with our Whataburger. That's if you all haven't had it before, and if you ever make your way to Texas, I highly recommend you grab yourself a Whataburger and try it. Just try it, and it's.
You notice he waited till NorCal was out of the box before saying that.
Well, hey, yeah, exactly. You got to pick your battles, right?
Right. Yeah. Actually, Burger King has the Impossible Whopper that actually is I enjoy that one. I'm gonna switch into today's good news in history. There's a site called Good News Network that I use for these stories. It has daily good news stories. That is where I pull a bulk of my information week to week. This was for Friday. 110 years ago, Peter Cushing was born. The British actor became best known as the go-to man. Thank you. Quick shout out to Nemo, to Good Listener, and Artman. Favorite them. They stream. We love them. Was known as the go-to man portraying lead roles in more than 24 horror films produced by Hammer Films, including Dracula and Dr. Frankenstein, both on several occasions. He is remembered among the younger generations undoubtedly for his exceptional role as Grand Moff Tarkin in Star Wars, Darth Vader's military command collaboration. Cushing was known among his colleagues for his gentle and gentlemanly demeanor, as well as his professionalism and rigorous preparation as an actor. His co stars and colleagues often spoke of his politeness, charm, old fashioned manners, and sense of humor. National Jubilee Day was held in Trumbull, Connecticut to celebrate the end of the American Revolution in 1783. Jazz trumpeter and composer Miles Davis, one of the most influential and innovative musicians of the 20th century, who broke long held musical rules and helped popularize jazz fusion with his 4-time platinum album 1959, Kind of Blue, was born in 1926. English actress Helena Bonham Carter, 53, of The King's Speech, Fight Club, and Harry Potter, was born in 1966. British Guiana gains independence, becoming Guyana in 1966. And the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty was signed by the United States, Nixon, and the Soviet Union and Brezhnev, which was in force for 30 years, until 2002, when the U.S. withdrew to pursue a missile defense system in 1972. Faced with Mott the Hopple splitting up, David Bowie offered to ban 2 of his new songs, Suffragette City, which they turned down, and All the Young Dudes, which became a huge hit for the group, rising to number 3 in the UK and into the top 40 in the US in 1972. The Edgar Winter Group went to number 1 on the US singles chart with Frankenstein, with Winter playing a protracted solo and with then innovative synthesizer, becoming the first person ever to strap a keyboard instrument around his neck in 1973. And for the first time ever, the top 5 positions in the US singles chart were held by female artists. Madonna was number 1 with Vogue, and this is in 1990. Hart was at number 2. Sinead O'Connor was at number 3. And Wilson Phillips and Janet Jackson were 4 and 5. And federal judge Sonia Sotomayor was nominated to be the first Hispanic justice on the Supreme Court by Barack Obama, then president, in 2009. 56 years ago today, arguably the greatest album was released. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band sat at number 1 on the UK albums chart for 27 weeks, selling 2.5 million copies in the first 3 months and 32 million to date. 67 years ago today, The Silent World, the French documentary, co-directed by famed oceanographer Jacques Cousteau and young filmmaker Louis Malle, was released. And noted as one of the first films to use underwater cinematography to show the ocean's depths in color, it won the Palme d'Or Award at the Cannes Film Festival, the only documentary to do so for nearly 50 years. And 105 years ago today, the Democratic Republic of Georgia was established after the collapse of the Roman Empire, or the Russian Empire. The Roman was way wrong time frame. Okay. And then on this day, 103 years ago, singer, songwriter, and actress Peggy Lee was born in North Dakota. You might know her from her sultry voice in their 1958 hit single, Fever. She was nominated for 12 Grammy Awards, including Best Contemporary Vocal Performance for her 1969 hit, Is That All There Is? You may also know her as the voice of the Siamese cats in Disney's Lady and the Tramp. And 25 years ago today, Australia held its first National Sorry Day, with reconciliation events nationwide attended by over 1 million people. They gathered to honor the continent's mistreated Indigenous people, particularly the children who were taken from their homes. The government officially expressed sincere regret for the injustices suffered in past generations and for the hurt and trauma that many Indigenous people continue to fill as a consequence of those practices. This happened in 1998. On this day in 1907, John Wayne was born in Winterset, Iowa. Nicknamed the Duke, Marion Robert Morrison became an instant star after his role in John Ford's 1939 film Stagecoach. And 23 years ago today, the Manchester United football team completed an unprecedented treble, a triple trophy year, becoming the first and only English club to achieve the feat. After winning no titles the previous year, 1998 and 1999 became the most successful season in the club's 117-year history. During the campaign, Man United only lost 5 times and had a run of 33 games unbeaten. And your history for Saturday, 694 years ago today, Ibn Khaldun, the Tunisian Arab scholar who is recognized as one of the greatest scientists of the Middle Ages, was born in Tunis. He wrote a massive contemporary history entitled Book of Lessons, Record and Beginnings and Events in History of the Arabs and the Berbers and their powerful contemporaries. It was extraordinarily long history of North Africa, the Near East, and Arabia, during which he proposed several foundational sociological concepts that are still used today. Rachel Carson, ecologist and author of the best-selling book in 1962 about the dangers of pesticides, Silent Spring, became one of the most influential books in the modern environmental movement and was born in 1907 in Pennsylvania. And the Golden Gate Bridge opened to pedestrian traffic, creating a vital link between San Francisco and Marin County in 1937. Buddy Holly and the Crickets released their first album, That'll Be the Day, in 1957. Australians voted in favor of a constitutional referendum granting the Australian government the power to make laws to benefit Indigenous Australians and to count them in the national census in 1967. And then 73 years ago today, Linnanmäki, a very unique kind of amusement park, opened in Helsinki, Finland. Along with containing roller coasters, theme parks, carnival food, and all that good stuff, Linnanmäki is owned and operated by the nonprofit Children's Day Foundation, which raises and donates money to Finnish child welfare work. In 2019, it handed over 4.5 million of its hard-earned euros, and to date has donated $120 million. And happy 87th birthday to actor Louis Gossett Jr., who became the second Black man ever to win an Oscar for acting and playing a gunnery sergeant in 1982 as an officer and a gentleman, in which he earned the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. And 29 years ago today, the Nobel Prize-winning author Alexander Solzhenitsyn flew back to his native Russia after 20 years of exile in the United States. The 75-year-old was given an emotional homecoming greeted by 2,000 people bearing gifts, flowers, reported by the BBC. Imprisoned by Stalin for 10 years for political dissent, Solzhenitsyn was later stripped of his citizenship and expelled from the Soviet Union in 1974 for attacking the regime in the Gulag Archipelago. In 1990, Mikhail Gorbachev restored his citizenship, and treason charges against him were dropped in 1994. Right. And 60 years ago today, Freewheeling, the Bob Dylan album, was first released. His second album, it showcased a quantum leap in Dylan's songwriting talent that propelled him to international fame. With songs like Blowin' in the Wind, Don't Think Twice, It's All Right, and A Hard Rain's Are Gonna Fall. Also on this day, 46 years ago, Declan McManus made his performance debut in London as Elvis Costello. The prodigious singer-songwriter's first three albums, including his critically acclaimed debut, My Aim Is True, all appeared on Rolling Stone's, where are we? 500 Greatest Album of All Times. And then 93 years ago today, the Chrysler Building opened to the public in New York City. Constructed by Walter Chrysler, founder of the automotive company, the Art Deco skyscraper served as the corporation's headquarters and lifted up languishing east sides of Manhattan from 1930 to 1950. All right. A quick shout out to good listener Nemo and Artman. I am Miss Tawny. This is No Blues News, Mondays, 6 Eastern, your positive news and entertainment source weekly, going into Sunday's history. And then we will have our guests back in the box for some more questions. Okay. 70 years ago today, the quite magnificent watercolor painter Carl Larsson was born in Sweden. Known for his portraits, Larsson was able to convey both extraordinary detail and extraordinary style at will, with his works like a face seen in a dreamy mist or a children's book. His paintings portray idyllic life and country life in Sweden, and once collected into an illustration book, sold like Sunday loaves. A solar eclipse occurred as predicted by Greek philosopher and scientist Thales, a phenomenon that led to a truce between battling armies in what became known as the Battle of the Eclipse, settling a cardinal date from which others can calculate as 585 BC. The First Continental Congress convened in 1774. The Azerbaijan, probably said that wrong, Democratic Republic declared its statehood, becoming the first democratic republic in the Muslim world. And the Democratic Republic of Armenia also declared an independence in 1918. And I practiced it ahead of time too. The Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, California was officially opened to vehicles in 1937. Women in Greece in 1952 were given the right to vote. 19-year-old West German pilot Matthias Rust evaded the Soviet Union air defenses to land a private plane in the Red Square in Moscow in 1987. I wouldn't even remember all this. I'd fail. Although I was good at history, so maybe not. After 22 years of restoration work, Leonardo da Vinci's newly restored masterpiece, The Last Supper, was put back on display in Milan in 1999. I had no idea. I've never been to France, not France, Italy. So I would never know. I would just think it was there, obviously. Oh, really? Thank you. All right, and then NATO declares Russia a limited partner in the Western Alliance in 2002. I'd be curious to see who actually remembers all this, because I don't even remember all this. After weeks of public protests against a tyrannical regime, Nepal citizens in the first full meeting of the Constituent Assembly formally declared a public ending the 240-year reign of Shah dynasty in 2008. We could have a game show. This could be like a follow-up, like a Friday or some other day game show to see who actually remembers any of this. I wouldn't be offended if you did. 115 years ago today, Ian Fleming, the writer of the James Bond character, was born in Kent, serving as a naval intelligence officer during the Second World War. He drew largely on his experience to create the character of James Bond, an international man of mystery working at the highest levels of British intelligence in 1908. And then in 1940, Lieutenant Commander Fleming was deployed under cover of Courier's passport to Gibraltar, where he set up a surveillance post to ensure that the Allies had advance notices of the potential allegiance between Franco and Adolf Hitler didn't compromise Allied operations in the Mediterranean. And 62 years ago today, Amnesty International was founded in London. After Peter Benison read the article, The Forgotten Prisoners, and concluded, the newspaper reader feels a sickening sense of impotence. Yet if these feelings all discussed all over the world, could be united into common action, something effective could be done. Today, this organization directs 10 million people to advocate against human rights abuses. And a solar-powered Ferris wheel premiered at the amusement park at the Santa Monica Pier, arrayed with bright lights and 75% more energy efficient than the old wheel, which was auctioned on eBay for $132,400 in 2008. When I saw this question, I was like, who bought this giant Ferris wheel? And I'm like, where is this thing sitting? Do you like randomly have the old one somewhere in your backyard? And the ironic thing, I went to California last year to visit my family, and I had I had no idea about this. Like I knew it lit up at night because this it's actually my first time meeting Blake, and we had gone to like eat, and you could see it in the distance still, even though because like Santa Monica right, and Venice Beach are right next to each other. It's like the walking distance, and you could see it, but like I had no idea about this information. Yeah. And then on this day in 1892, the Sierra Club was founded in San Francisco by John Muir. The club became the largest and most influential grassroots environmental organization in America. I didn't either. I saw the thing. And the funny part, I grew up in California, and I'm from San Diego, so we spent most of our time in San Diego. I had family up in LA, so we would go up to LA sometimes. But we never went to the Santa Monica Pier. I literally just saw it last year in all these years of my life. Right, yeah. And happy 79th birthday to Gladys Knight, the singer, songwriter, actress, businesswoman, and author. She won 2 Grammys in 1 year with her group Gladys Knight and the Pips in 1973 for Midnight Train to Georgia and Neither One of Us. Wants to be the first one to say goodbye. That's what friends are for. Another #1 hit. And you may remember Best Thing That Ever Happened to Me. She also had 11 #1 R&B singles and 6 #1 albums, resulting in 7 Grammys total. She sang the theme song for the James Bond film License to Kill and is listed as one of the Rolling Stones magazine's 100 greatest singers of all time. She still tours to this day. She was born in 1944. And happy 78th birthday to John Fogerty, the singer-songwriter, and his brother Tom founded Creedence Clearwater Revival. The band had 9 top 10 singles and 9 gold albums in just 4 years after their first hit in 1968. After his renowned song Proud Mary, Down on the Corner, Who'll Stop the Rain, Bad Moon Rising, Fortunate Son, and the baseball album Centerfield, CCR parted ways in 1972, and Fogerty began a successful solo career. I'm going to have my 3 guests back into the box, and I will leave you in the box for the remaining story about Memorial Day. I'll go over it, but I'll have you in the box as I go over that final story. But I'm going to have you with the questions. Hey, let's go. In relation to today in history. Okay, what did I just do? Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
sorry.
You're good.
I had to restart because I was having technical problems, and I kept going like, I hope she doesn't call us back before my computer restarts. Yay.
You're good. You're good.
Yes, love it.
Okay.
I'm like, thank God there is not a test because I got nothing. And it's a for sure thing, Papa. It's a for sure thing. I'll come in last.
But I think you might get the one, which is your favorite ice cream truck item. You might get that one right.
I already got it.
See, that's what I'm saying. You get a couple of them right.
I got 1 point.
Right. Okay.
Just 1 point. It would only take 1 point.
Right.
I'm on the board.
Yeah, you won't get skunked.
Exactly. Okay. Who is your favorite art artist and why?
Our favorite what?
Like art artist, like painter, like art artist kind of
Oh.
person. Yeah.
Wow.
Mine is actually Monet. We learned about I remember that was the first artist I really found. I mean, there's plenty of good ones, obviously, Da Vinci, Picasso, other ones like that. But yeah, I always found, Monet's paintings like really, really simple, really pretty though.
I love Monet. I love all the traditional icon, the ones who pioneered all the different principles of art. But my son's art is just amazing when he was young. That is the most precious thing I will hold on for dear life. It was the turkey with the hand and the feathers painted on. I vote my son. Team son, mom.
That's a solid choice. I would have to go with just some of the same thing. Some of the main classic, like Van Gogh. But I think deep down inside, probably my favorite one would be Warhol. Just because of all the crazy abstract different styles and paintings that he had. I think Warhol would probably be my choice for my top fave when it comes to artists.
Yeah, one of my thoughts was, my kids, because I love their artwork. But I'm gonna go with my final answer is gonna be MC Escher.
Okay, that's pretty tight.
Who did some amazing stuff. Why do I keep? Okay, there we go. Save. There should be. Oh, here's one of my favorite ones.
Oh wow.
He just did some wacky, like drawing all these things that could not physically be built the way they were.
I've seen that before. Yeah, now I know who he is.
Yeah, and then this one, also another classic. The water cannot actually flow the way it's supposed to flow.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were going to do show and tell. I would have gone into the garage and grabbed out that big old bin. It's there, and I would have done some show and tell. Next time, let me know, because
Or just send the pictures to me. I'll post them on here, and you can then talk about them while you're actually visible still.
I definitely love the OBS.
It's fun. Thank you, Jay.
The closest thing I can show you is the artist painting right here. That's the closest thing I can show you of that artist.
Oh, nice.
That's my show and tell reference for the day. Okay. NorCal, I know this answer for you. Have you been to California, and what was your favorite tourist spot you saw? I'm from California.
So yes, born and raised in California. I live like 45 minutes away from California, up in the wine country. I was actually raised in Marin County. We talk about Muir Woods and the whole, organization to save all of this land for preservation for future generations. We would not have Muir Woods, who, he was amazing. He saved these redwoods. They would have been chopped down. It's in a town called Mill Valley. There was a reason why it was called Mill Valley, is because there was a mill there, and they were chopping down trees in this certain area to make housing down for people who were in San Francisco, the turn of the century. They would come over, they would ferry over to our side of the bay, build houses. It was their summer homes. And so that was before they made the Golden Gate Bridge. They used to ferry. Now they can drive over. But definitely Muir Woods, if you guys ever come, you're going to need to make reservations. I would definitely put that on your bucket list. The redwoods are super intimidating. They're very big trees, and they make you look and feel very, very small.
And Sin or Papa Bear, have you guys been to California?
I have. It's been almost 40 years.
Okay, that's a hot minute.
Yeah. And no, I actually worked out at Disneyland for Ringling Brothers for 3 months. And
wow.
Disneyland is not my favorite attraction in California. Having seen the in and out, I had to get a haircut. I wore a wig as a clown. I still had to get a haircut to match their corporate standards. I'm wearing a wig. No one sees my hair. Yep, but we don't care. You know, the first thought was Fisherman's Wharf up in San Fran, but because I just have fond memories. I saw my first Chapman stick being played, which is like this incredible. Look up Chapman stick; it's an amazing instrument. But U.S. Highway 1, because it's just such a beautiful. I drove that, and it's such a beautiful stretch.
Sin, have you been to California?
Actually, yeah, I was in California last year for the first time ever. Last year during Thanksgiving, my sister moved out there, so we went to go visit for Thanksgiving. So we were only there for a couple of days, so I only got to see some of pretty much like the tourist attractions, obviously. But I would say I definitely like the Hollywood. What's it called? The stars. Seeing all the stars there in Hollywood Boulevard was definitely up there. Seeing some of those names, but I would have to say, yeah, from the few spots that I saw, hands down, it had to be the Santa Monica Pier. Just all the the sights and the sounds there. Seeing what is it the end of, was it Route 66 or something like that?
Route 66 ends there. Yep.
Yeah, that was cool to see. And yeah, just like all those sights and sounds that are on there, the Ferris wheel that you were talking about, all that. So I'd have to probably say for now, the Santa Monica Pier was my favorite attraction that I saw while in California. I know there's many more, but for now, it'll be that.
But now I have Route 66 running through my head. From Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way.
Since I grew up in San Diego, mine actually would be the San Diego Zoo, and then one of my favorite beaches and I've ever been to in California is La Jolla Cove. It's this beautiful beach. There's seals, there's cliffs, and like that was I'm partial to that one from growing up in San Diego. And then okay, have you ever been to an amusement park? Most of us have. And what was your best memory and why? Growing up in California, we went to Disneyland every single year. So that's why, granted, when my kids were adults, I wanted to go for them. Or not when they were adults, when they were, were little, we went out in like 2009, I think. But if I didn't have kids, I honestly wouldn't have an interest to go back to Disneyland. But I've only been to Epcot at Disney World, but it was a cool experience. But we basically just went there to watch fireworks. So this was the time at playlist. And we just actually, Katie, speaking of, Katie was one of the people I went there with. And it was really cool experience. We briefly got to see it, but it was a cool experience. But I would say growing up, Universal Studios would actually be my favorite one. So, and just kind of memories with my family.
So being a California native, there are a lot of amusement parks here, obviously. We have Great America Universal Studios. We have Grape Knox or something like that. What is that? Knoxberry Farm.
Knoxberry Farm.
Yeah, and then we have Six Flags up here, and then we have we have Great America, Six Flags up here, Knoxberry Farm. So like maybe six. I'm not really a fan of rides. So there, and then the boardwalk in Santa Cruz. So I kind of, I would be there for the food and watching people, but not riding the rides. So I'm a little bit, it just, the feeling of it, I'm not really into that, but I would go and I would hang out. Yeah. And I would hold your purse, Tawny.
Right, and send in Papa Bear.
I having worked at a theme park for months, that also wouldn't be my favorite. I had the great fortune of being across the street, living almost exactly across the street from the Mall of America here in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And we had Knott's Camp Snoopy, an indoor theme park in the Mall of America, which is now Nickelodeon World, or I don't know if it's still that, but when I was there, it was just opened. I worked there as a clown, wandering around, just being funny. There were so many cool things there. There was like indoor Ferris wheel and everything was indoors and covered. So you could go all year round. And the favorite one they brought out was one of the early times. It was called the Mystery Mine Ride. And you sat in these chairs that would move along with the video that you're watching. So it's like a mini IMAX type experience. But then, like if the truck that was driving was veering down the road, your chair would actually veer with it. And if you're coming to a stop, your chair would move forward and then back. And it was an incredible experience. It was so much fun.
I've been to Mall of America.
It's really too big. I mean, it's just huge.
It's epic. Mm-hmm.
They have multiple versions of the same store in the same mall. It's like,
Oh,
And they have an aquarium downstairs.
they do, which is
wow.
actually pretty nice
Yeah.
aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
And they have 2 Toledo chili traders, so you can get free samples. You go to the one, you walk around, do some window shopping, go to the second one, get some free samples, walk around, do some window shopping, go to the first one again. You can free sample all day.
It's very cold there.
and for you, Sin?
Yeah. Here in Texas, I mean, we have a couple of Six Flags. I've only been to the one in San Antonio, Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. We have the Schlitterbahn, which is the water parks as well, which those are pretty fun. But yeah, for the Six Flags ones, I think I'm not sure if it's still in service or if they upgraded it, but for a while there, they had like one of the only all wooden roller coasters, I guess, in the States, the Rattler. And that one was pretty. I mean, if you're a ride enthusiast or especially a coaster enthusiast, that was one of the more cooler, also kind of scary roller coasters because it's all being, all wood. It was called the Rattler for a reason. So yeah, when you would be going through the roller coaster, I mean, you could literally feel like the rattling of the ride as you went around it. So that one was pretty lit, that ride. But as far as overall experience, I would have to say I'm not too sure what the name was, but growing up, I grew up overseas for a few years in Germany. There was a theme park. Like I said, I don't remember the name, but I remember the rides and everything, and just the overall experience. There was a theme park that we went to over there that was pretty neat because it had kind of like the flavors of almost like a Disney, because they had like some characters and stuff. And the rides that they had also were pretty fun. So as far as an overall experience, that theme park that I went to when we were over there in Germany, for me, was probably the best one that I've that I've been to so far. But yeah.
Wow, I ran across a Texas theme park picture I got to share. It's just,
Okay.
it freaked me out seeing it.
Of the Rattler. But it's not the snake. It's not the snake.
No. Well, Texas, where they have like 4
Don't show
different.
snake. I'm afraid of snakes.
Texas has like 4 different rattlesnake festivals throughout the year. Which
Okay, I'll pass on that.
They do like
Yeah.
that.
It's an interesting concept. Oh, I can't. It won't. Well, let's see if I can do it this way. Nope, I can't find. It's like a roller coaster. It's like a roller coaster, but the thing, instead of being like in carts that are 2 people at a time, they're like 8 across, and they hang over the edge of the rail.
Oh wow.
The 8 people across, and I'm just going like,
Pass on that one too. All right, and in reference to the horror movie actor in the one story, do you like horror movies, and which one is your favorite and why? Okay, I have an odd answer to that. I like the demonic ones, not that I want to be possessed or anything, obviously, but because of the fact that they're more realistic. Most of the other ones, they're not scary because they're fake and they're based on nothing real. And I don't really like the like hostile Saw type of like ones like that. So
I'll go first. I'm not a fan. Sorry. I definitely, as a kid, I was like, I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's like, that's kind of like my work environment, except it's a controlled, sterilized environment in the surgery room. So I don't want to see, that kind of movie when I actually see it in real life. I'm more of like the romantic, Queen Elizabeth and, Prince Charming, because apparently my Prince Charming got ran over by a bus. He hasn't shown up just yet. But I'm into the lovely, gowns and, the bustier A kind of dresses. And yeah, those are my movies, not the horror and the gross and the demonic stuff. I'll pass. So if you wanna sit and and chill with me, we'll do it Netflix. Chick flicks.
Right. Oh wait, Papa Bex, they have a picture of us. Forrest, which one is this? William Castle. Which one is this?
Picture is the
Frankenstein, maybe? Which one is this?
The picture is the Tingler. Can you hear the audio?
Not really.
You will feel some of the physical reactions, the shocking sensations experienced by the actors on the screen. I guarantee that the Tingler has more shocks per minute.
Anyway, the Tingler was this. I grew up on. Let me get rid of the echo.
It's the Tingler for me.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah, the Tingler was there was all these William Castle. Oh, go away, artwork. I don't want you there anymore. The Tingler, William Castle directed all these, like the Tingler, Homicidal, all these, and they always had a gimmick. The Tingler was the seats in the theater were rigged with like vibration things that would like vibrate, and the Tingler would apparently there's a scene in the movie, not apparently, I saw it. There's a scene in the movie where the Tingler sneaks into the theater in the movie, and at that moment, like someone notices, the Tingler's in the theater on the screen, and then they'd start randomly buzzing the seats with the vibration.
Oh wow!
Like that, the Tingler was, and people were like, "Holy crap, it's here!" He always had some sort of gimmick. But I grew up on all the black and white. My brother and I watched a show called Horror Incorporated. It was one night we got to stay up late, like midnight, to watch these old horror movies: Godzilla, Rodan, Monster Island.
I'm down for some Godzilla, but I don't think that's in the horror, is it? Category?
Yeah, for us, it showed up on Horror Incorporated, so we counted it. But recently I got back into them and have been watching I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is not based on a true story. The autism in my brain saying, I just keep hearing people say, yeah, that's based on a true story. No, it's not. And then, Jeepers Creepers. It's fun. Lost Boys. There's a lot of good ones out there.
Yeah. All right, and for you, Sin, I'm curious.
I'm a huge horror buff. I love the horror genre. I'm with you, Tawny. I do like the paranormal stuff just because it's more, I guess, like you said, realistic, and that stuff really interests me. So yeah, like the Conjurings, all those kind of Insidious, those kind of movies will always pique my interest. But I will say, kind of like with the gore factor. Not so much the rest of the franchise, but the very first Saw, I didn't really remember when I first went to go see that movie. That was one of the first movies that I went to go see, and I came out of the theater feeling like, even though I'm a huge horror fan, came out of the theater feeling like with this deep pit in my stomach. I was like, man, like what did I just watch? It really, really kind of freaked me out. Also because, if you think about it, that kind of stuff can actually happen as well in the real life. But and then on some of the other ones, I think, like the Jasons and the Freddy Kruegers and that kind of stuff, I'm not really too much of a fan of that. Although I will say one of the latest reboots of the Jason movie, that one I did enjoy because they put more of a human element with the Jason character. And to me, that makes it a little bit more scary, because again, it brings that realistic vibe into the mix. And for me, when it comes to horror, the more realistic it is, the more scary, I guess, it is for me when I'm watching it. So
yeah, like this could really happen. Hey, piece of trivia about black and white horror movies: fake blood. They use chocolate syrup because it looked more like blood in black and white movies.
Wow.
Oh.
And I retract that because I do like a very eclectic classic, and that would be Clockwork Orange.
I
think it was black and white, right?
It's color.
It is a color. Okay, well,
it's but messed up.
It's an oldie but goodie. That was a good one, but as far as like blood, guts, and all that kind of stuff, I think that was more psychologically like crazy.
Yeah, because interesting, because I would never, I wouldn't see Clockwork Orange as a horror movie. I can see how you do. My my son and I watched Southern Comfort, which is like a military type movie. But at the end, he's like, "That's the best horror movie I've ever seen." I was like, "Did we watch this?" And he explained why he sees it as a horror movie, and it was like,
Yeah.
I buy it. Okay, so
Perspective.
it's how you look at it. One person's horror movie is another person's romantic comedy.
Oh,
I don't want to know that other person, but yeah.
I definitely would not categorize that as romantic, but
All right.
Lost. Well, I watched Lost Boys with a friend the other day because for Valentine's Day, because it was a horror. She likes horror movies, so I picked that one because it's a horror movie, but there's romance in it. So I was like looking for a romantic horror movie, and Lost Boys was the closest I got.
I love Lost Boys.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, but it was more like a romantic type of movie, so I could get into that one.
Yeah.
A quick shout out to good listener Nemo, Artman, the top 3, favorite them. This is No Blues News with Miss Tawny, Monday 6 Eastern. Your positive news and entertainment stories shared and discussed with guests. We have one final story. Vampy J, who's ever recording at 10 at 16. Can you go ahead and end the recording? Okay, but as far as Memorial Day. And then there was one final question from the last segment. I'm going to quickly go over Memorial Day real quick and Happy Memorial Day. Originally known as Decoration Day, it's a federal holiday in the United States for honoring and mourning the U.S. military personnel who died while serving in the United States Armed Forces from 1868 to 1970. It was observed on May 30th. Since 1970, it is observed on the last Monday of May. And then as far as the final question from the previous segment, it was in relation to the story of how I didn't realize that it was this far, that it was 1988 when, granted, because we're in Australia, we don't know that they did something, in relation to the Native Americans there. To my knowledge, we don't have anything like that we've done here in the U.S. I don't know. Maybe there is. They just we know that was done. They gave them land, they gave them, the casinos, and that was basically supposed to make up for it. I personally don't think enough was done. They were the first ones here. So I think a lot more should be done to honor them. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you think enough is done in our country in relation to Native Americans, or is there more that can be done?
So I'll start. Believe it or not, my grandmother was part Native American. She spoke Chippewa. I was taken around to a lot of the powwows. We had, other family members and things like that. We never, so she's Creek Indian. And I guess Creek Indian were actually from Mississippi, and they migrated up to Oklahoma. And she had 13 kids, and she was an amazing, strong woman. As far as like some of my other family members, they were on a scroll. Obviously, you have to prove that you are that is your family member all the way back to where the scroll numbers are. And then they do give money depending on the tribe that you belong to. I've never done that. I have other family members who have, because it's such a huge family. I mean, family reunions are over 2,000 people. That's obviously a very touchy question to answer, because everyone has their own different opinion. But from me, and having have had that experience, and having family members reach out, and I think some of them got land, but that's their business. I've never really asked. I've never received anything, but I do honor my ancestors. And if you come to my house, you will see a lot of like Native antique things that I inherited from my mother, who just passed away in December, that have been handed down to me. So that's an amazing experience, just having those items in my home. Yeah. She got a lot of stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
13 kids. My dad's mom had 13 kids. So
Okay.
we'd go to family reunions, and my sister sitting next to me like, family or guests, and she, oh, that's so-and-so's cousin's nephew, or whatever it was, and it was pretty trippy. I'm woefully, I'm gonna say not knowledgeable. There's a word I'm looking for, but my aphasia is kicking in. Uh, yeah, I can't imagine I'm one of 5, but one of 14. Oi, you learn good fighting skills and how to get to the food while it's still on the table. I'm woefully uninformed. That's the word I'm looking for on the issue. So I'm gonna say, if we have done enough, great. If we haven't done enough, I hope we continue to do more. Is my position on that one.
Send.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same realm. I think definitely more can. I think more can be done. I know they're they try to do some stuff to commemorate and to remember and that stuff. But I do definitely think yeah, that there could definitely be more done, and um, not just as far as like stuff to for remembrance or whatever, but also without getting too deep into it, more stuff like legislative stuff as well. I think could be done as far as with the um, things that have been unfortunately brought upon with the Native Americans. Um, yeah, so I'm definitely in the wheelhouse of what, yeah, like Papa Bear said, whatever they've done so far is good, but definitely I do believe that there could be definitely can always be more done. So because I think again, without getting too deep, I think it's a very uh, unoppressed people, unfortunately, but yeah, we can definitely do better uh, in the future. So that's my stance on it.
So I wanted to touch on that really quick. Mount Rushmore was dedicated to our presidents, and that's in South Dakota. There's also another monument that they are right now working on. It's nonprofit money that's coming in, but the head of the chief is there. The rest of it will be done as they get more funding. So if you are ever in South Dakota to see Mount Rushmore, please venture off and look at another monument that is there, and it's in the process, and it's going to be obviously years in the making, but there is a wonderful tribute to Native Americans. Definitely check that out.
Cool.
Yeah. And Memorial Day, we know, is also becomes the official kickoff of summer. Kids get out of school, barbecue season, beach vacation season begins. I was curious as to some good recipes. Okay, there was sloppy Joe dogs, jalapeno popper Mexican street corn, red, white, and blue potato salad, summer squash salad, peach chipotle baby back ribs, shrimp pasta salad, barbecued burgers and green chili ribs, spicy lemon chicken kebabs, cheesy barbecue beef dip, summer orzo salad, and then as far as some, easy, if you're wanting a non-alcoholic drink, I mean, you can do the alcoholic ones too, obviously.
Thank you.
Come on, cooperate. Okay. There's hot cider and ocean punch, tomato, lime, sipper, and then hot cocoa. And then if it lets me look at the rest of the page, it's not cooperating. Okay, it's not letting me look at the other ones. Maybe it froze on me.
Oh no, but if you're taking orders, I'll have one of each, please.
I want to try the corn because I think they lathered up with mayonnaise and then they sprinkle that the chili stuff
powder
on there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the lime juice,
And bologna and radishes. I'm kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, that wouldn't be good.
The radishes.
Okay. And do you celebrate Memorial Day and where we're not? I personally, I did when my grandparents were alive. It was a big thing with them, but now that they're passed on, I don't really celebrate it.
All of my uncles were in Vietnam or what was the other one?
Korea?
Okinawa. Korea. My grandfather served in the Navy in World War II. So a lot of my uncles and grandparents all served. Obviously, that was a time where a lot of our parents served. And on top of that, a lot of the females were assisting and behind, baking things and stuff like that. I also have, immediate family members who have served, and it definitely is there's a risk to it, obviously, and a sacrifice when you sign up for the military. So I am very respectful of my freedom with my European ancestors. So much respect to people who do serve, give them gratitude, thank them. It's not very hard just to say thank you for your service. It's something that they really appreciate. Just be kind with words.
Yeah. Papa Berenson?
Yeah, similar. I grew up, Memorial Day weekend when I was growing up was just, hey, summer's here, to a large degree. Then it became the, let's honor all people who serve. And then, I had someone point out to me that it's actually just for those who have fallen, and they expressed it in a very profound way to me that really made an impact. And so I do my best. The closest I come to celebrating it is to acknowledge on the day and the days preceding that, remember, this is for those who've fallen, those who died in service. I appreciate everybody who serves and gives of their time and takes and puts themselves in the risk of being one of those fallen. But let's, we got Veterans Day for that. Memorial Day is for all those who have fallen while in service.
And Sen?
Yeah, I agree with that as well. And as far as like celebrating, I really don't do much. I usually say like celebrate actual, like, I know people like to go out or like you say, kick off the start of summer. I personally don't really do that around here at this area because we have a beach that's close by, and most of the time the beach is like overrun or with either locals or people from out of town as well coming in. So I just stay away from that for one, but also just for me personally, out of a respect, just for like Papa was saying, and NorCal as well, those fallen soldiers that gave up the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. I did have a few grandparents that were in the military. I had quite a bit of friends as well growing up. Graduating around the time when 9/11 happened. I had quite a bit of friends who decided to join the service at that time and got shipped off to war at that time. Some of them that didn't make it back. So I try to, remember them and try to honor them as best as I can as well during this time. And like Papa said, try to just more remember or to tell people or to let them know, just, hey, it's fine, you want to have your fun and celebrations and stuff like that, barbecues, that's fine, but just don't forget the true meaning behind what Memorial Day is to honor those fallen individuals that like I said, gave up the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms in the end. So that's how I feel about it. So yeah.
Okay. And do any of you cook on Memorial Day? And would you be curious to make any of those food or drink recipes? I would be curious to make some of those, but I normally do not cook because I'm not a barbecuer. I've never learned how to barbecue. So for that reason is why I cook other things on Memorial Day instead.
I normally have a little get together, but in the past couple of years, COVID has prevented that. My mom had cancer last year. I was dealing with her health issues, and then this was the first Memorial Day that kind of allowed me to do that. But I had a surprise visit this weekend from some family members that I haven't seen in 16 years. Right. So they left yesterday morning, and I kind of rested today. So next year I will be planning a get together. But it's nice to just stay home and just relax as well. And be safe out there. If you're out there, be safe. Please be safe.
Yeah, and I've been playing Dutiful Son all weekend for my mom, who's in her mid 80s and has a lot of health issues and lots of doctor's appointments and lives half an hour away. And like this morning, I took a 3-hour nap today because I was up at 5 to drive to her place to take her to her appointment, then wait for a couple hours, then take her back home. Oh, after the store. So, and then tomorrow I get to take her to another appointment, and I have to leave at 4 a.m. to get her there on time. Yay! So no, it's been a long weekend. So
yeah,
if I'm not doing stuff for her, I'm a little bit of streaming here and there, but mostly sleeping.
And for you, Sin?
That's a good son.
I'm moving up in the will every time.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I'll go the food route and I'll bite and I'll say, I mean, after you said that list, I don't know if I was the only one, but I was definitely hungry again after you read off that list of amazing dishes. The one I will say that kind of piqued my interest was, although I have had street corn before, I don't think I've ever had the one you mentioned. I think you said what, jalapeno poppers smothered
One. Never had that either.
street corn.
Yeah.
Something like, yeah. I don't think I've ever had that before. So I would probably would like to definitely try that one out because it does sound pretty delicious. So I don't know if I'll try my hand at it, try to make it, but I'll definitely be the guinea pig for somebody who's made it. So
he's down to be the guinea pig. I love that.
I'll go research it. I'll make some and I'll mail you some. Okay.
Right,
it might not be. Yeah,
good.
But,
And then if you were going to a barbecue this weekend, what will be your go-tos? Like when you've gone to barbecues in the past for not 4th of July, for Memorial Day, what have been your go-to items you've liked?
Tri-tip. I'm not a vegetarian, but definitely barbecue tri-tip is bomb. Medium rare,
what's
please.
tri-tip?
It's just a type of meat. I'm not sure where it comes from.
Oh, so it's a cut of meat.
Beef.
Okay.
Yeah, it's beef.
Is that like fajita?
And it.
Is that a
No,
that like
I don't
fajita?
know. I don't think they do fajita at a tri-tip, but they
No?
could.
Oh.
They could. But it's super yummy. It's just a big chunk of meat that you can marinate and throw it on the grill, and don't overcook it because I like my meat medium rare, please.
Oh, it's also called a California cut, a bottom sirloin butt, a Newport steak, a Santa Maria steak, or even referred to as a poor man's brisket.
There you
And
go.
it
comes from the front of the cow below the
California
chuck.
representing.
My go-tos are bug sprays and sunscreen. No, I'm a skin cancer survivor, so that's my moment to say, yeah, wear your sunscreen, people.
Wear your sunscreen.
Yeah.
No more wrinkles.
No more melanomas. That's where I'm. I like to, but I did get a nice little scar. So
yeah, especially for those of us that burn
Mine
and
was
we don't
definitely
tan.
the pig salad and chili dogs. That was mine. Yeah.
okay, potato salad with or without crunchy things in it.
We
I
didn't
like
have crunchy
celery.
things in ours.
Yeah, I can't have crunchies in my mushy. It's an autistic thing.
Ah.
Mushy and crunchy separate. Okay, I could have a stalk of celery and then I could eat my potato salad, but you put them together.
So the green bean casserole with the onions in it wouldn't have worked for you at Thanksgiving.
No.
Okay.
I like them. I like the crunch. I like the crunch and the mush together. That doesn't bother me.
Okay, you remember the hungriness I had when she first listed? That's gone now that we've been talking about the crunchy and mushy together. I'm done.
No raisins, huh?
No
Raisins are okay. Yeah, just no crunchies. Like pizza can't have onions or peppers on it.
I can't do raisins. No, yeah, not especially on potato salad. But big points. I will say, yeah, for the medium rare, I'm definitely medium rare fan as well. I don't like chewing on leather. I like my leather on my boots or wearing it. I don't like it. I don't like chewing it or eating it. But I would definitely have to go with the beef fajita as far as the go-to. yeah, like I said, just a little bit with that medium rare kick to it, and just it doesn't even need that many spices. Us here, what they do is they like to marinate it in beer, like a couple of hours beforehand, and then throw that sucker on a grill. And yeah, that's basically all you need. You get the flavors more from the meat itself, and yeah, that's for me. That's a perfect Memorial Day weekend dish.
Yeah. And if I'm not gonna grill, I would do one of the things I've run across. I have a lot of friends from the Philippines now, and chicken adobo. And adobo is like you marinate the chicken thighs in like soy sauce, vinegar, peppercorns, bay leaves, garlic, and I'm forgetting one thing. You let it sit there overnight, and then you take it out, and then you braise each side of the chicken for like a couple minutes, and then you add the marinade in, and you cook it down for like half an hour, 45 minutes until it gets like a nice thickened glaze, and it's
Wow. That sounds good.
Now I'm hungry again. All right.
All right, and before I have you guys leave the box, Papa Bear, what events do you have coming up?
In 33 minutes, I have the chopping block with Winda, and then every third Thursday, I host an open mic on my stream, and I'm sure I've got other stuff. Check my Instagram. I usually have my schedule on Instagram, various stuff I've got coming up, and every Saturday night. Yeah, I didn't forget. Every Saturday night, Triple L has her show from 7 to 8, and towards the end, the last couple of minutes of the show, feature time, and for about 15 minutes afterwards, I play music.
Nice.
All right, and shout out good listener Nemo and Jenny, the top 3. Thank you to Papa Bear, NorCal, and then Sen for joining us tonight. This has been No Blues News. I am Miss Tawny, your positive news and entertainment source. NorCal, what events do you have coming up?
So my mother passed away in December, and I adopted her dog. Her name is Tinkerbell. I've had her for over a year and a half now. She's a 3-pound little feisty chihuahua. She is going to strut her stuff tonight. Her debut as a live streamer on Meow and Me with Kitty Commander. So super excited to show off all of her little outfits and just what a handful she is and how she runs this joint. So she's gonna be about 9:40, I think. That's my time slot. And then tomorrow I have Cuban Girls show and Are You Smarter Than a Top Badge? And then I also have Sunny's Strength of a Woman. So I'm just out there working the streets. I'm working this.
Taking advantage of that vacation, aren't we?
And then I'm on Krabby's show. Tawny got me on Krabby's show. It's a for sure thing. Whoever I'm going against, you guys got it. I got nothing. Be easy and gentle on me. If it was multiple choice, I at least have a chance to win. But I don't think it's multiple choice, so I'm gonna have to pull it out of somewhere.
I think you are against Katie. You were against Katie B.
And I'm losing. That's a for sure thing. I'm just gonna show up and be eye candy.
I forget. And then the third, isn't there? Yeah.
And then I'm on acting out on Thursday with Role Model. And if I missed anybody, where's my secretary? Where's my admin? Because it's just me.
Yeah,
the girl's just running it herself. It's hard for me to even show up.
And quickly,
I'm off for 10 days. Pull up.
To Sin, we have No Blues News Mondays 6 Eastern with your host Miss Tawny, me. I'm in Raj's auction, the Dress Like a Gift, that is on the 3rd. I am in Best Friends Hot Girl Summer auction on the 17th, and then after that, I think it's like August. I'm gonna do Dealing with Scan at some point and follow up with him, and then Andrew's Guess the Gibberish as well. Sin, what events do you have? Yeah.
Nice. Man, you guys have a full schedule. I kind of feel light here on the duty. But no, as far as any shows coming up right now, I got no shows coming up right now. I do stream. I try to stream almost every evening whenever I can. Usually around this time, maybe a little bit later than this. Um, and as far as anything coming up, we just did hit my 2 mil. So coming up, I'll probably be having a small little party, 2 mil stream party, whatever. I don't know exactly when, but I'll probably the same way, same thing. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll probably post about it up on Instagram on my stories or my a post or whatever. But I'll post it up there. But that's pretty much it. That's all I got going on so far. But thank you for this opportunity and thank you for having me on here as well. I appreciate that, Tommy.
Congratulations on your 2 mil. If you need a DJ, I can hook you up. And if you would like to get on other featured and non-featured shows, hit me up. I can let Emoji J know that when you're available. So we'll get you on some more featured shows.
Oh, and she mentioned I'm slacking. I am an admin for Not Too Shabby. For anybody who has not been on and is available, Wednesdays 3 Eastern. Hard time slot because it is during the time for a lot of those of us who work. I had to take the day off when I did it. But it's a really fun show. There's like forfeits if you don't win. It's a trivia style quiz show. But Krabby is, a good friend, an amazing person, and love the show. And
yeah,
love
yeah, Tawny, hit me up for that. I was gonna do it one time earlier, and then something came up, but yeah, I'm available too. So,
but is it multiple choice?
Not this. Is it multiple choice?
4 different rounds.
But is it multiple choice?
Not all.
Well, here's the thing. NorCal, you can always just answer.
I would have a chance if it's multiple choice.
He says, "What's the answer to blah blah blah?" You just say B. It might not be a multiple choice question, but you can always answer questions as if they're a multiple choice.
I'm going to take your advice. Facts.
There you go.
I think Krabby will be good with it. But thank you guys for joining me tonight. This has been No Blues News. I am Miss Tawny. I will see you next week. Thank you, Papa Bear. Thank you, NorCal. And thank you,
Absolutely,
Sam.
love.
Much love, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
And you got this, girl.
Lovely panel.
Just stay with it. Be consistent.
Yeah, you guys are great. Thank you.
Every show will get better and better. Every show you'll get dialed in.
I'm finding out the verdict this week. I'm submitting this recording, and I will find out the verdict this week.
I will protest. I will have my free Tawny.
Go and shoot it up. Please don't harass Chris. We love Chris Casper.
We'll ride at dawn.
Chris Casper, give her a show.
We'll ride at dawn.
I love you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You guys are amazing.
All right. Good night, guys.
And I love the positivity of your show. That's like one of the best things about your show, I think, is just that you're focused on a positive. Thank you for that.
Thank you. All right, guys. I may be back a little later. Thank you, Art Man. You have a good night, everybody. Have fun in your streaming. Behave or don't behave. Much love. I will see you guys.